Legal thing do you do on a regular basis? 1. I jailbreak vending machines. Most of them have a hidden menu you can access by pressing a specific sequence of buttons. Once you're in, you can change the prices to 1 cent or even make it dispense snacks for free. I've been doing it for years. 2. When I was a kid I thought it was normal that we could buy movies the day after they came out from the Chinese lady in the chicken shop. I didn't realize it was a crime until middle school when I told someone my grandma had Avatar on DVD and they said that was impossible since the movie was 3 years old still in theaters. 3. Nothing officer. 4. I have never told anyone about this before, but back when I was 15, 1979, I stole a Datsun 240Z car in my neighborhood. I was walking home from a friend's house one hot summer night and as I walked by this cool-ass car and I noticed a single key sticking out of the driver's door lock. I had always thought that car was cool and thought it would have been bitchin' to drive. Well, it was. So L kinda looked around and saw no signs of life anywhere, so L got in and drove it off. It was a super nice car. I drove all around the valley, grew up in Palm Springs. This car was too nice to be treated to a joyride, so after a few hours of driving it, I took it back and parked it right back in its parking spot at about 4 a.m. I figured it was very unlikely that the owner would even know it had drove, other than it missing about a third of tank of gas. But I did keep the key, because they would think that just misplaced it somewhere. And I guess that's exactly what they did because a couple of weeks later I did the same thing, only this time it was almost out of gas so I had to put some in it. Did the second time just like the first time. About a week later I did it again. That time I drove it up to Big Bear Lake because I was dying to drive it on mountain roads. It was a blast. Until I stopped at a little gasser market to get a snack and bumped into one of my older brother's good friend who knew I was only 15 and didn't have driver's license or a car, much less a vintage sports car. I can't remember the lies I told him but knew I was going to be in deep shit when I got home. I hauled ass back, stopped at 7-Eleven and filled the car with gas and snuck it back into their driveway, took a pen and scribbled out a thank you note and told them that I really loved their car and they really shouldn't leave the key in the door overnight. Oh and BTW, I filled the tank for you. 5. I cut my own hair in my house, but I'm not registered as a hairdresser under the 1939 Hairdressers Act. 6. In '94 I had an 87-foot Toyota Celica in black. It was a really nice car when I bought it, but it had a missing hubcap. Not knowing where to get a replacement, I stole a hubcap from another Celica in my neighborhood. I was dumb and 17. I drove that car for 2 years until I got into an accident. Since I no longer needed the hubcap, I put it back on the car I stole it from 2 years earlier. I always wondered what the owner thought about it.